Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talking Shit on the Commentary. I'm DeAndre. We got some stuff going on in the news. Apparently, Charles Barkley has released some statements. That woman who was talking shit about President Obama's daughters has resigned. And I was listening to some people, who have an opinion or an attitude about this. The stuff that's going on with the Michael Brown situation, and the Fox News people over there talking about all this bullshit. I feel spiritually depleted somewhat just listening to these people talk all this bullshit from a perspective of how they live and where they are in their life, opposed to what happened and what's causing all these other people their strife. And the bottom line is that Eric Holder was confronted at one of his speaking engagements by some protesters, and it was handled very properly. And Holder went on to say that there's going to be these changes. Look, this flat-footed response is not the momentum that people need. I don't know if it's resonating with people, and partially because people are untrustworthy. If you look at the prison system in this country, and you talk about the black-on-black crime, and you deal with all these different things that blur the issue of whether or not that man was killed in cold blood, and try to act like that's the real purpose of the debate here, you're missing a lot of points and key aspects of what's going on. And right now, we're dealing with the DOJ, Department of Justice, trying to decide on whether or not this man should be brought up on federal charges, or should there be further investigation, or why do these investigations take all this time? They're saying they got to look at these evidence, they got to interview these people. And I'm just really frustrated with everybody treating us as though that there's something trustworthy that has taken place with this grand jury, that there was something trustworthy that was involved in this evidence. There's no trust. That's why there's this clash. Because most of the white people who are not a part of the Occupy movement, most of the middle-class blacks who don't have anything to do with those who live in the area where this took place or whatever, those people, their mindset is set on how they see something. And the people that live in these areas that deal with this police harassment, Barack Obama reflecting at the event the other day that somebody asked him to go get him some tea, and he was there as a guest for President Clinton and all of that. That's a different respect. And then, of course, Holder says that he's been pulled over and harassed by the police, too. So, I mean, there's all these different things that you can just sort of add. It could be like, let's just ramble about all this stuff. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, somebody gave a cop $500,000 as a part of a relief fund for the fact that he killed an unarmed man who he says attacked him, okay? And then we have all this evidence that was only brought forth in a secret grand jury. None of this evidence that, common people, we don't really know about. So they say they have all this evidence, they say they have all these facts, and all we have is a dead body, and somebody wrote Darren Wilson a $500,000 check. We have all these talking heads, including myself, with all our versions of what took place. When we really want to know, like that reporter asked Robert McCulloch, during his presentation of defending the policeman, and really handed down an what he really handed down was an acquittal rather than an indictment or a no true bill. But one of the reporters asked, what should one expect when one's hands are here, opposed to the hands up. This question about was his hands really up? Morning Joe Scarborough was making comments basically attacking the black reporter on there, forgot his name, and the word I couldn't think of yesterday was indictment. Not indictment. Arraignment. It's an arraignment. That's what you do in most states. They don't have grand juries. You're doing arraignment. You come in and you're arraigned to decide whether you're guilty, no guilty, or no contest. Anyway, you know, just basically attacking Gene. That's what it was. The reporter on Morning Joe, and even Mika, who I often respect, was, you know, it was just this arrogant, like, well, did he have his hands up? I mean, because I would rather than go like this, brother. It was like, Joe, shut the fuck. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay? What? How is that relevant? See? How is that relevant? See? How is that relevant? Well, they were like this, or like this, or like this, or like this, or like this. How is that relevant? Come on, Joe! Give me a break! Why don't you go to a sex party with Bill Maher? You know, just and then why wasn't Gene saying, I'm going to cuss to that, you know, like this, or like this, or like this, or like this, or like that, or like this. Come on, Joe! Give me a break! Joe, Morning Joe. Mika, come on! 4 hours? If we're going to talk about something that's seemingly irrelevant, 4 hours, not covered. The body. The law that was read by the prosecutor's office during the proceedings. That's in the transcripts. Why aren't we talking about that? Irrelevancy. Let's talk about some shit that's irrelevant. Oh, you know why? Because the argument for defending that unarmed citizen and everything that we bring up is irrelevant. Because of these facts, right? These alleged witnesses. I don't believe that any of that shit is bona fide. I don't believe that any of it is valid. We don't trust any of it. We don't trust the system. We don't trust it. There's no trust. And no, Edward Snowden is not our president. Our president is supposed to be Barack Obama. And now the community doesn't even trust his ass. You know? So bring on this irrelevant bullshit. It's irrelevant. It's off topic. And then somebody can talk about black on black crime. Well, in spite of all this stuff, black people are killing black people all the time. And white people kill white people. What about white on white crime? You know, white on white crime. What about white on white crime? Doesn't matter. The cop shot the fucking guy. And he left him there for 4 hours. And they didn't gather the evidence properly. And then they went and misled the jury. And give them fucked up jury instructions. This was fucked up. And I don't care what the Ku Klux Klan tries to do to divert us from dealing with the fact that this was fucked up. It's bullshit. I'm sick of it. It's like, God damn it. Come on. Mika and Joe this morning. Oh my God. Come on. Fucking assholes. You know, and making light of the fact that this boy is dead. And that they, you know, right before Thanksgiving and stuff. And he going off, he done married some other cop and they done left and they got the fucking money. They got the $500,000. Why isn't anybody talking about Robert McCulloch and how he collected that money allegedly? You know, and the idea that, in fact, there was some footage that Michael Brown did, in fact, pay for the cigarettes. He was pissed off because he was accused of stealing over there. Or whatever. I mean, if we want to just talk about shit, I'd like to know why this was not taken to trial. And if you keep telling me it's because of the evidence that was inappropriately gathered, fuck you! Shit. And I mean it!